Good evening, everybody. Matrix here, and here's my watch list for June 21st. Okay, tonight's watch list is going to be a little bit different, as per usual, in the sense that I'm going to do everything raw right here in front of you, and it's going to be a little bit longer of a watch list. I'll try to finish off as fast as I could, as precise as I could. However, a lot of my videos I talk a little slow on the slow side, so feel free to hit the playback speed on YouTube and run it up to 1.25 or 1.5 times, and that'll probably make it easier and make the video a little bit more smooth. Okay, so here we have the SPY, the big picture. I'm going to bring in the futures right now real quick. Looking at the futures, we are gapping down about $4.75. That kind of equates to about 50 cents on the SPY. Currently, the SPY is sitting right here at around the 295.70s, 295.60s area. So with a 50-cent gap down, we're probably sitting right around here at this 295 level, just above the 295. Now, as you can see, I have a few lines marked off on the SPY here. The orange line is our previous all-time high. So looking at this right here, 294.95. Okay, that's previous all-time highs, and we have closed above it. At the open, we had a gap up, and then a slight little pop-up, and then we see a profit-taking dip. As the SPY got sold off all the way into the afternoon, it bounced right off a perfect spot here at the 293.60, which coincidentally is the prior 2 days highs right here. Okay, so here we have a very concise support. Okay, overall, I think the SPY closed pretty bullish above its all-time highs. Right now, with that said, the overall sentiment would probably be I mean, the overall sentiment would probably be in a bullish manner, and I would see that the market are pretty hopeful about this, that the market will test the all-time today's highs tomorrow. But before it even do that, though, I am expecting a dip to shake out these weekend ons here. So whoever got long around this area and is still holding for the swing, I think if I was the market maker, I would try to bring the price down to stop these people out and bring it under. Okay, as you can see, we are gapping down a little bit, and I would bring it under here, and even over here around this 294.50 area, push it under a little bit, and then I'll be looking for perhaps, well, to say that it's gonna test this today's low again would be a little bit too far, in my opinion. Overall, I mean, the stock is trending up and following a very nice trend here on this 50 EMA on the 30-minute chart, which kind of equates to the 200 SMA on the 1-minute chart. So if I go to the, the 5-minute chart. So if I go to the 5-minute, right? The 5-minute chart here is the 200 SMA, the pink line, right? As you can see, it's following a very nice trend. So let's go back to the 30-minute real quick. I mean, we are looking at the big picture. And let me see if I can get this trend line to form a little bit more. Okay, so like I said, after the Fed speak, we have the SPY coming back down to this trend line here, the 50 EMA. And then today it tested and held, and it's looking like it's holding this uptrend. Okay, now the EMA is more used as more of a guide instead of support and resistance. This kind of little slant up here and these bounces here, it tells me that overall the market is in an uptrend. Okay, so as long as this EMA is kind of slanting up and still holding these prices, we are in an uptrend. So to me, if I were the market maker to stop people out, I would bring the stock or bring the prices of the overall market down and stop out all these weekend longs, and then grab their shares and pop it right back up. And then eventually we'll see a consolidation around the highs here. Maybe not tomorrow, perhaps Monday, perhaps tomorrow, we don't know. and form this nice ascending triangle, eventually break out. If not tomorrow, then probably by next week. Okay, unless Trump wants to tweet something stupid and bring the market down again. But overall, the market does look pretty bullish. So we'll be looking for a dip and rip. Okay, so let's get into some tickers here. First up, we have CGC, which is Canopy Growth, one of the bigger players here in the cannabis sector. As you can see, I already have some lines marked off here. Looking at the big picture real quick, the daily chart, okay, uh, this $40 level, very, very key, right? Prior to the earnings, if we are to zoom in here real quick, just a few days before earnings, we had people are buying in anticipation of the earnings. And from here, we have today we have a pop after hours on the earnings. Now, going back to this daily chart here, the next range, we're sitting right at the highs right now at this 44 level, right? This is the higher end of this little range right here from 40 to 44. Okay, so really depending on what it does tomorrow pre-market. We also have the next range here from 44 to 46. There's like a little tight consolidation. In actuality, the range is actually from here to here, right? So as you can see, the stock has been bouncing around in this area. Okay, so this resistance line at $48 and the lows here at 44, right? So we are getting into this range area again. This 46 level is a median level and it's very important. Okay, so once we get back into this range, it really depends if it can hold this 44 and then ride back up. And then from the 46, we'll see if it wants to break out or fail from there. Also note that we have this 100 SMA average here on the daily chart as well, which is right at the 45 mark, which is a key psychological whole number expected to kind of show some sign of resistance here as the stock come up. Now let's get into the intraday chart real quick. Okay, CGC overall on the news side of things, I was reading their fourth quarter result, and the story is it's about growth. Okay, and I like the story. It's telling me that for the year, CGC has been growing and their revenue and their production are growing as well. So hence we have the positive reaction after hours. So looking on the daily chart back again, I mean, if uh, the ER says that the growth rate for the company is good and the markets love growth, we do see that the stock is on the higher probability of going higher than this prior range over here. Okay, so this is the prior range. I am expecting for the next year, or sorry, for the next quarter, for the stock to be trading above 48. So I do like the long thesis more. However, however, I was checking the short interest of the stock, and a lot of shorts have piled in today. About 60% of shorts have piled in. So coming into the after hours action, I mean, you see this after hours pop, and then a profit take, and then try to find a bottom from here around the 43.60. It popped back again. This candle right here at 6 o'clock, this is a major candle that if I was a short seller, I would short here, which kind of equates here. So if I was shorted here, I around the 44.80s area, where would I risk? Well, I risk a little bit above 45, key psychological whole number, and maybe the prior highs here at 45.20s. So this here is the squeeze zone, in my opinion. Hence, I put the orange line on here. Okay, if the stock can trade above or pops up, grinds up slowly above this 45 and breaks out, the stock will squeeze. Okay, coming into the daily chart again, I mean, From here, we see a sell-off. Short sellers piled in, and then they covered, and then shorts piled in again. And then from here, they start covering and they bought here right at around the 41 in anticipation of the earnings. Okay, so the blue line marks off 44 where the price is right now. 43.50 is after hour support right here, as you can see. Coming over here, it's also kind of like the morning resistance as well. 43.50. Aside from that, it doesn't really have much of a significant level except for right here, right on this bar right here. Okay, and it did have a pretty significant volume at this level, so I am expecting a dip at the open since the stock did close down, right? I am expecting a dip at the open, and if 43.50 holds, also yesterday's VWAP, okay, if it holds and starts a double bottom or higher low from here, I would anticipate it to ride up and test this 45, if not even more. Okay, knowing that so many shorts have piled in, I think the up move above 45 will definitely magnet it to 46 because of the squeeze. Getting long around this area and anticipate the up move. I like that theory. I like the buy the dip and rip idea on this ticker. Uh, as always, we gotta always plan for the short side as well. And coming over here on the daily chart, we see 43 is a pretty key support level, 43 whole number right here. So let's mark that off for you real quick, right? Okay, so here's 43. If the 43.50 fails, we have the 43 to hold it up, and if this fails, then it's a fail, right? This is major support here. It's supposed to hold. I mean, probability wise, if it doesn't, then I'm going to scrap the short idea. We do see a nice trend though from the bounce day, right? Okay, so we're going to extend this trend line tomorrow. It's probably going to come into this area right here, looking for dip to hold and long it. If it gaps up tomorrow, and it stays above the 45 in pre-market, then you know what? I'm still gonna look for the profit-taking dip. Okay, um, that's the only way I'll long. I don't want to buy anywhere near the highs here, especially this 45, this 100 SMA area. I'm definitely looking for a dip. On the short side, I don't know, man. I mean, if it runs up really fast and does a double top, I might take it. I'd rather not, though. I mean, even on a short, I don't expect the stock to lose all its gains. Okay, I am expecting, if I'm shorting, I'm just expecting like a quick little pull down of like 50, 70 cents. And then that would be it for scalp play for like a pull down, more like a uh, re- retracement or pullback. Yeah, pullback is the word I'm looking for pullback if I'm shorting it. Now, the average shoe range for canopy growth is $1.60. Keep that in mind. So if you are in the stock, or if I am in the stock, um, gaining $1.60 would be actually a pretty decent target here. Okay. Next up, we have what did I trade today? ORCL, Oracle. Okay, Oracle closed very strong above its above its open. Okay, and it made all-time highs today at this 57.5 area. So definitely gonna mark that off. You know what? Yeah, let's do that right now. Definitely gonna mark that off. The highs. We have made some sort of resistance at this 57 over here. So this 57 level is also very key, depending on what it does tomorrow pre-market, right? Um, with the way the stock closed, I am anticipating more of a fading type of open and to test support again. Today, it held a very key level at 56.50. And in my recap, if you haven't watched it, I did actually take a trade late day today at 2:02 p.m. exactly, or 2:04 p.m. exactly. Okay, so Let's go through that right now and let's talk about it because it's just going to be very quick. So let's expand this 1 minute chart. Basically, what I saw today after I made the recap, I was watching the ticker still. I never took this off my charts, and I saw this 5650 held. Okay, so from 202, yeah, 202 exactly. Let me bring in my tickets here. Might as well. Okay. Um, let's see. Okay, yeah, yeah, 202.45 is where I longed it. So right here is where I longed it. I basically late day I saw the stock made a support here at 56.50, and overall, yes, it's trading under the VWAP, but overall the stock on the big picture though it's pulling back. It had a nice move. The catalyst was good. It hit all-time highs, and there wasn't a follow through, right? It came down on this 56.50 and there was no follow through after it made higher lows, hit the VWAP, pull back down again, and once again it held this 56.50. Okay, from there I saw that this was a very nice risk to reward trade that I took, and basically I took it at the average of 56.57, and my risk was a little bit under here. Okay, so I had 56.42 was my stop, so I had 50 cents risk, and I rode it all the way up, and I actually set uh, a range target on this order because once I took the trade, I basically walked and went to lunch. And by the time I came back, the stock was right about here. By the time I came back from lunch, and then it held this 57. I waited, and finally I took it off right around this area when it couldn't hold above this 57.15. So I literally wrote this trade from here to here. Okay, so 15-cent risk, and I believe 57.10 is where I got out. So 60 cents reward. So that's pretty nice. Okay, so let's get back to the watch list. I mean, that's what we're here for. So Oracle tomorrow, I am looking for a continuation because it closed so strong. Let's get back into the 5 minute chart here real quick. We have key support here at 56.5. Okay, looking for a fade downwards, and I'm gonna watch and see if this 56.5 holds again, like it did today in the afternoon. Okay, um, expecting volume to come in though at the open, so the volume might push it down. It's a tad overextended, okay, and the volume might push it down through into this 56.25 area, and then from here it might bounce back up. So I'm looking for that blow off bottom, kind of like what we had this morning, the blow off bottom, and then long it from there, and then try to target 57.50. Now, talking about Oracle, what brings to mind is ADBE, Adobe, which kind of was pretty similar to Oracle. It had positive earnings, closed around its highs, and made all-time highs as well, right? And then today, Oracle broke out and made another new high on the day. Okay, so if I'm going to compare the two company, ADB, I'm going to play it. I'm going to watch ADBE and the price action and use the same theory on to Oracle, thinking that it will have a second day run tomorrow as long as this 56.50 area kind of holds here. So right around here. As long as this area holds, I think the stock is still along, and with the market overall being in a bullish sentiment, I do think it's along, but expect the opening dip to be pretty violent and don't get in early. Make sure you wait for the perfect long setup. Okay, now let's go to ADBE. ADBE ran hard and finished strong after hours. It's topping out here at 302.50, so that's the first sign of resistance. Okay, this thing has pretty good range, about $6. It's ran 2 days in a row, even though it closed so strong. Tomorrow, and very overextended. So tomorrow, um, I am expecting a gap up. Okay, perhaps a little gap up into this 303 area, if not 303.30s area, and then opening dip to pull down. So a gap up, pop and drop is what I'm looking for consolidation day. We have very key support here today. 300 is massive. Okay, as you can see here, late day, this is where people got in. So 299.64 to be exact, right? So 299.65 we'll call it. Okay, so here we have a nice support area right here. Okay, gap up, pop and drop. So I'm gonna be looking for the short. Uh, gonna wait though and watch for it to top out, knowing that it can still run. Okay, so definitely do not want to get in early. If it dips tomorrow out the gates at the open, with the volume coming in, driving it down from the profit take, right? I'm watching this area to hold support and then ride it back up. If the 300 fails, it pops up and fails from the 300 again, then it's definitely a short. Then my target would be around this 297 area. Okay, so that's ADBE, and I'm not expecting the stock to lose all its gains. It just needs a pullback day, probably 50% of what it did today. So I mean, even if we were going to do the fibs, right? Let's do the fibs from the prior 2 days here. Come on, right around here. So 298, 50% is 295.75 for the prior 2 days. And if I'm gonna just do today, 50% is 299, 298. Yeah, still 298. So this is a pretty key area, I guess. So I'm gonna mark that off here. I mean, even the fibs are working out on these areas here, as you can see. Um, yeah, I do like that. So watching for a dip or pop and drop, probably short that first dip down and watch for the lower high to get in short with tight risk and short it and bring it down to 300. If it stays under 300, then my next target's 298 and 297, right? And we could even perhaps pull it all the way down to this area. Okay, we still are following trend on the day, but this trend line is a little too steep in my opinion. So we'll see. We'll see what it does tomorrow. ADBE. What else is on? Let me open up my phone because I did take some notes here real quick. Give me a quick second here. Notes. Apple. Yes. Okay, so Apple is despite the SPY being so strong, Apple came out with news today, I believe, and they were warning people about their guidance in international growth. If I remember correctly, on Yahoo Finance here, um, voluntary recall on the batteries of MacBook Pro, which is it's okay. You got, oh yeah, Apple got initiated today with kind of like a downgrade. It's not a full downgrade, but Deutsche Bank initiated on a whole rating at 205. Okay. Um, oh, right here. Apple says U.S. plans for more China tariffs will reduce its contribution to the U.S. economy. So this is big news, right? With this news, I think it's going to stun the run of Apple here. And even though the stock did close on like a bounce back, um, I don't think it's able to get over 200 tomorrow. I mean, 200, very, very key area. Okay. So watching for a little pop tomorrow into the 200 and then bring it back down. Also, yesterday around the 200, 225, 30 area. Okay, so this is a key resistance zone. It wasn't able to hold. It had massive volume. Okay, so this volume is a kill candle, right? This is a kill candle of the 200. Came back, and then it got stuffed. And then from here, when the SPY bounced, Apple bounced as well. So we have clear support area. I am looking for the fade tomorrow. Looking for pop and drop. Right now it's in the middle of everything. And it looked like it reclaimed the 199, but it happened late, right? Let's see here. Boom, boom. Yeah, it looked like it reclaimed this 199, but it happened late. So 199, depending on where it's opening up tomorrow, above or below 199 for the first opening move. And then anticipating if it opened below the 199, then uh, I like the opening short back down to 198 before the bounce to test the 200. And then from 200, fade it back down again. If it opens above the 199, then look for the opening pop into the 200 and then short it back down. I just don't think it's going to trade above the 200 here. So 198 key support area right here. Then 200 key resistance, give or take 20, 30 cents. If it breaks out the 200 and starts holding, then get the fuck out, right? I mean, there's a 201 top here as well. 199.50 interim resistance. This will probably act as like pre-market highs for tomorrow. It's a pretty key area as well, but it's a tad too close. So we'll see. Just mark it off as like an interim kind of line here, or interim resistance here. Okay, so that's Apple. I like the short idea more than I do the long, but know that 198 is a key support level. Okay, yeah, Apple, and that's basically it for. Oh, can't miss this one. Work IPO. So work IPO. Um, definitely uh, a prime candidate tomorrow. Today it made its lows here at the 38, right? So at the open, where a lot of volume happened and it was so and highly anticipated. You know what? Let's go to the 1 minute chart. Um, it ran pretty nice. The opening print is 39.75. No, 38.75, I believe. Let's zoom in here real quick. Work I'm gonna watch because it's trending very nicely. Uh, I'm pretty surprised the stock is trading so clean. Okay, and then today it made a low at 38 and bounced off. So this is the opening print, the opening IPO price, 40 as well, a very key area, key psychological whole number. Okay, mark that off as orange. We have the highs at 42. It wasn't able to get over. And today, while I was recording the recap, I was saying, oh, work made a double top, and look what it did. I think I was recording the recap around this area, and I'm saying, oh, work is making a double top. And then basically it just sold off, right? I should have took it too. I mean, oh well. Bounce off 38, so very key support area. It's holding above its IPO opening price. Okay, so really depending on what it does tomorrow. VWAP here at 40.50. I like this area. Just mark that off. And let's take a look here on the 30-minute chart. Raw. Yeah, this 40-50 area, very, very key. Okay, so I'm going to mark it off with a nice shiny shade of red. Coming into support here, 39.50. Yes, because it bounced here on the first pullback. Second pullback, it bounced again. snap through. Where did it snap through? It snapped through late day, and then we see buyers coming in after hours and a price here. I'm not sure if they have shorts available yet on this ticker. I trade CFD, so I can always short, but if the shorts are available, that would mean that people are short from here. And this is just a short cover. But if they don't have shorts available yet, then this is more of a buy. And we'll see what it does around the opening print tomorrow. If it opens above it, then we use it as support. 38.50. No, 38.25, another support area, because it's the opening lows. Okay, the low of the opening right here, literally first minute. Okay, so this is another nice support area, bounce from here. Yeah. Okay, so I I don't know if I want to long it or short it yet. Just gonna play the chart on this one. It's a direct listing IPO, so basically all of the entire market can trade this ticker, and insiders can sell. And if I'm not mistaken correctly, I mean, if I was an insider, I'd start selling around this area. Or if I was like a major institution, this is where I would have shorted, right? And we'll see if it holds above 40, then get ready for a run back to the highs. Work definitely, um, it definitely trades clean, I'll tell you that much. But actually it's making a lower high right now. So for example, if I'm going to draw a trend line down on the 30-minute trend. Okay, so if it breaks out this 39.50 and starts holding, then it's a long. Squeeze out the shorts if there are shorts in here. We'll see. Work. And that's basically it for my watch list tomorrow. I'm going to take a look at Roku real quick because I love Roku. Roku. It loves this 9 EMA. It's just hugging it. Every time it's a little extended from it, it just sells off. It looks like it's closing back down into this near prior support area. 104, very key. Okay. So depending on if it can hold above 104, then it's definitely a nice long. And don't expect too much from it, though. It doesn't look like it's a breakout day. Tomorrow, it can go both ways. If it snaps to 104, it's going to test this 103 real quick, this 9 EMA, and bounce from there. So Roku, um, not expecting a huge run on Roku, more like a choppy day. So I might not even trade it, but that's my thesis on it. Okay, a dip, hold, and run. Maybe even this 103 area on the daily chart. And last night I was wanting to watch Disney as well, but this chart's a little too tough. If it gets above and starts holding the 142, it's a long. It's a buyer's candle today. Made a bottom, pretty key support area. Has yet to kind of pull back 141.50. Ooh. Okay, so it's definitely going to want to pull back to 141.50 and see what it does from there. Okay. If it holds, then it's a good long. 141.50. Okay, it might pull back a little bit more. I mean, this 50 SMA line cuts right through the middle of this range here. We have a range. Okay, we have a nice range breakout of the day. Okay, since we have a breakout, expecting it to test this prior range to see if it holds the breakout. Okay, so 191, 191.50, and then a long. It's a little overextended though, so I don't have too much hope for this. We'll see. If it's following the market nicely, then it should be a nice long. That's pretty much my watch list this evening. I hope you like this uh, a little bit more raw version of my watch list. Basically, show you how I think through it throughout the whole thing and not be prepared like I should. Uh, and these notes, hopefully, when I wake up tomorrow, it'll stay in my mind and I'll be able to pre-market, plot it, and plan it some more. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Go to my recap and nuggets playlist, and you'll find the recap of today, how I longed Oracle. It's basically a very, very clean trade. It's one of the edge trades that I take. So if I'm longing a stock, most of the time I'll be using this setup on Oracle. And check out my video link descriptions below. I'll see you guys all bright and early tomorrow. Have a great Friday. Ciao.